Hello and welcome back to the Human Manual. I'm your host Ankit and I am back after a long vacation in India. It was a very beautiful vacation and I met my parents and my family and my relatives, and it has been a beautiful tour to India. I went to some of the dhams or the holy places of India like Tirupati, and I had a beautiful darshan of Lord Balaji or Lord Vishnu, and it has been a beautiful journey. Recently on the 25th of April, my grandfather, my mother's father, passed away, and since then it has been a difficult time for me as well as for my family, especially for my mother as she was very close to my grandfather. And so from that time I was thinking it is really a great tragedy for me and especially for my mother because she was very close. So one day I was thinking, is this really the greatest tragedy in the world we face when we lose our loved ones? Definitely it is a great tragedy, but is it really the greatest tragedy? Why we feel so in such a way that when we lose our loved ones, because we are attached to them, and that's very normal. Anyone would be very disappointed, would be very shattered when they lose their loved ones. But in this world, everyone has to die. Everyone has to leave their body. Everyone might take another body after their death. So even on knowing this, why do we feel so shattered? This is the reality. This had to happen, and this will happen with all of us. Everyone will die. Everyone has taken birth, and so everyone will die. That's the reality. That's the truth. That's the thing which we all are witnessing every day, every moment in our life. But still we feel so shattered when we witness such things very closely. Why do you think it is like that? And really, is that the greatest tragedy? When we lose our wealth, or we become bankrupt, or maybe we face a terminal disease which causes a lot of suffering, like cancer or something like that. We feel that nothing can be nothing can give such a tragedy than this. But is it really like that? Why, first of all, why do we need to face such an issues? There has to be some solution to it, right? In India, people have a tendency to say that, okay, we have dukh and sukh, like that. They say there are times of tragedy and there are times of happiness. But first of all, why in the first place, why we should face such an issue? Why should we witness distress? Why should we face tragedy? There should be a solution to it, right? Have you ever wondered why in first place we should face such a situation? We need to find the solution of such an issue in our life. Or maybe are we looking at the wrong place for the solution? First we need to find the right solution and look at the right place for that solution. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says this body is temporary. But what is permanent? The soul is permanent, right? But still we are stuck in this situation. We are taking birth, again dying, birth again, death again, birth again, death again. I don't know how many times we have taken birth and how many times we have died, but still we are stuck to this material world, and we always are facing this tragedy and happiness in our life. There must be a solution to it. And we as a human being, because the human being have the highest amount of intelligence, we should have that inquiry in our mind that, okay, what is the solution to it? I don't want to stay in this situation. I don't want to get stuck in this situation, how to get out of it. I'm just, I'm fed up with this situation, with this ups and downs, with this dynamics of life. I want to remain happy always. Everyone wants to be happy, right? But it's simply not like that. It's because we are looking at the wrong place of that happiness. The soul is Satchit Ananda, means blissful, full of knowledge, and eternal. It is permanent. So it is always blissful. So how do we synchronize with the nature of the soul? First of all, we need a human body for that, as we all are. We are in this form, in this beautiful form of human body, which has the highest amount of intelligence. In reality, in the world, there are 8.4 million species, and out of those species, the human form of life is that form of life which is having the highest amount of intelligence. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, only in this form of life, in this form of being, you can understand me. If you have that inquiry in your mind, then you can understand me. But still we see that we waste our time, people waste their time in just gratifying their senses, and they eventually die. Everyone has to die. So this wasting of the human life should be considered the greatest tragedy in our life, because we wasted that precious form of life in which we could have inquired of our existence. How could we get out of this mess? So when we waste such a precious birth, when we waste such a precious form of life, then that is the greatest tragedy in our life. If we don't realize it completely, then that is the greatest tragedy. At least we have to try. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, if a soul is trying, then he just sees the willingness in that soul. That's it. And he will do the rest. Anyways, we cannot realize him completely because we don't have that supreme intelligence to understand him even. But by his mercy, we can be able to understand him. We can be able to love him. So when we waste our human life, that is the greatest tragedy in our life. Because it is said in the Vedas that after millions of births and death, a soul gets a human form of life. So you can just realize how precious is this human form of life. And when we lose that human form of life in gratifying our senses and getting messed up again in this material world, then that is the greatest tragedy in our life. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel, press the like button, comment in the comment section if you have any doubts related to it, and thank you very much. Bye bye.